Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post this up to Patreon and Facebook and all that sort of good stuff. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Hello, darlings. So, all right, current events. So I will be on tour this summer. I will be in Richmond. Let me pull that up. Where the heck am I going and what the heck am I doing? Hold on. So you can find me on chrisgodinez.com. Just go to appearances. And I will be in Richmond, June 22nd. I will be in Washington, D.C., July 20th. I will be in York, Pennsylvania, August 5th. I'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, August 10th, and then Nashville, Tennessee, August 17th. And then that is it for this summer. So there we go. And probably this year until next summer. So if you would like to get tickets, go to chrisgodinez.com and go to appearances and you can get tickets there. Okay. All right. So where was I? Hello, darlings. All right. So current events, lots of stuff has happened. So Chad Daybell has been sentenced to death, which I normally am not a fan of the death penalty, but in that case, I'll make an exception. So Chad Daybell was the guy who, with Lori Vallow Daybell, apparently murdered, let's see, they had the brother murder the spouses and the stepkids. So it just mind-blowing. And their whole excuse for killing the kids was, oh, they were zombies. They were, because this was a cult thing going on. And so either she or he convinced the other, or a little of both, to get rid of the spouses and to kill the stepkids. And the stepkids were found buried on Chad Daybell's property in Idaho, and they found him guilty and they've sentenced him to death. So I think Lori Daybell got off with just a life sentence, I believe. So anyway, just mind-blowing what some of these cults can come up with. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in the sabotage part that we're going to talk about this. So the other bit of news is there was another mass shooting in Akron, Ohio last night. 25 people wounded, 1 dead. And it just, when are people going to stand up and be like, okay, enough, we're done. This is stupid. Stop it. So anyway, that again, mind blown. Anyway, that is the current events. Okay, let me get rid of some of these things. There we go. Got rid of that one. All right. Okay, so today's topic is sabotage. Beware of sabotage. So sabotage can be incredibly subtle in the beginning. In the beginning, it can be incredibly subtle. So what they will do, what a narcissist will do, and we're going to talk about the workplace as well, because remember, narcissists are drawn to positions of power. So you want to be careful of that. We're going to talk about the workplace, what to do, etc. So in a relationship, in any relationship, I'm also going to talk about how narcissistic parents sabotage their kids. So in a relationship, the sabotage can start really subtly, really early, and you may not even recognize it. So oftentimes what I see personally is that the abuser will get with somebody, male or female, and they'll say that either they want kids or they don't want kids, and everyone's on the same page, and then they get married, and then suddenly they flip. And they'll be like, oh no, I do want children, or oh no, I don't want children, or whatever. So it's a test. What they're doing is testing. It's a test of the narcissistic network to see if you're willing to stay with them when they flip. Okay. So talking about whether or not you want kids is a deal breaker talk. If somebody says, yes, I want kids, and you try to convince them they don't, no. Or, no, I don't want kids, and you try to convince them that they do, that's a deal breaker. That is some mental mind shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're doing. They're trying to see is how far will you take it? How far will you allow them to dictate what you really want in life? And that's a sabotage. If somebody wants to be a parent and the spouse suddenly flips and says, no, I don't want that, that you have to change your whole outlook on life. You have to be okay with not having kids, or vice versa. You have to be okay with having kids if you never wanted them. So this is something that narcissists do, and it's mind shenanigans. It's trying to see, they're pushing the envelope. They're trying to see how far you're willing to go. Okay. That should be a huge red flag. That should be a ginormous, huge red flag. And it can be the sabotage can be subtle. So let's get into that. Hold on. Okay. So I pulled up some articles that I thought were good. Okay. This was on Esther Company, I think is the name of it. Yeah. Are you being sabotaged? 10 common ways covert narcissists may sabotage you. Now, here's the thing, though. It's not just covert narcissists. It's overt narcissists. It's communal narcissists. They all do the same exact behavior. So it's not just coverts. All right. So the 10 ways that they sabotaging your health. Super common with narcissists, abusers. Knowing you started a new healthy way of eating. They might come home with your favorite junk food and say something like, oh, I picked this up for you because I love you. I know it's your favorite, even though they know you're trying to avoid sweets, you're trying to avoid fats, or you're trying to avoid a lot of calories, or you're trying to eat healthier. One of the common things I've seen is that when the spouse is diabetic, the abuser will push alcohol and sweets and things onto them. No, you need to have this. No, I like this. You need to eat this. So that's a sabotage. That's sabotaging your health. Absolutely. If you have an important event that the next day, they might pick that night to disturb your sleep. This may look like picking a fight or having an urgent need to keep you up from getting to bed at a reasonable time. They may accidentally wake you up even multiple times during the night as a form of sleep deprivation. So what I've seen them do is pick a fight the night before, or what they'll do is slam doors, slam cupboards. Oh gosh, sorry, didn't mean to, accidentally on purpose. Really? I'm sorry. Do you have ears? Can you hear how loud you are? Yeah, you do. You know, you did it on purpose. I don't believe in accidents, guys. I don't. And I don't believe in coincidence. So they'll do things like that, especially if you have a job interview or if you've got something that's important to you the next day. They will sabotage it. And oops, accident. Oh, I didn't mean to wake you up. Or pick that night to suddenly bring up something from 10 years ago that has absolutely no relevance to what's going on right now, to fight about it and not stop. Like circular logic fights that never end kind of thing. Huge, ginormous red flag. If they really truly loved you, they would make sure you got a good night's sleep. They would not pick a fight with you, number one, because healthy people don't fight. We disagree, to be sure, but we don't fight. We don't scream at each other. We don't screech. We don't throw things. We don't slam doors and, carry on for hours, drama queen stuff, drama king kind of thing. Okay, back to this one because I thought that this was really good. If you get an encouraging, okay, hold on. If you get encouragement from anyone, they will discredit the person giving you the encouragement in order to discredit whatever encouragement you got. They will also pick apart the accuracy of the encouragement as if it's absurd and couldn't possibly happen. So they cannot stand it when anyone gets a positive word, a positive encouragement. Hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, I really love how you do your job, or do this or do that or whatever. And they will be like, oh, well, that person is just a fraud and blah, 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 indicating and saying, but not saying, but saying you shouldn't believe what they said. Because if they're telling you you're good, they're lying. Oh yeah, that's sabotage. That's causing self-doubt. That's what they want. They do not want you to trust your gut, number one, and to trust the good word of somebody who is reputable. They will try to make them into a fraud. That is the most common thing that they do because they can't stand the idea that their target of abuse is going to have good enough self-esteem. Because if they've got good enough self-esteem, the target of abuse is eventually going to tell the narcissist to go pound sand, and not in a nice way. So yeah, that's absolutely what they do. Okay, hold on. Getting back to this. If you decide to go back to school or to further your degree, and this is so common, I cannot even begin to tell you. They will come up with any excuse as to why it's not good timing. Oh, now's not the right time. Oh, well, you need to stay home for the kids, or you need to work that third job because we don't have enough money. So now is not a good time for you to go back to school. Meanwhile, here's another part of their sabotage in that line of thinking. They're getting bonuses at work. They're making a good, decent amount of money, but instead of putting it into the communal household pot to take care of rent and utilities and the kids and bills, they're going out and spending it on cars, motorcycles, boots, clothing, jewelry. It's not male, it's not female. Both genders do that. If they are a narcissist, they will go on spending sprees. They will blow the rent money. They will anything to keep you from bettering yourself. Why? Because they cannot stand the idea of you being better than them. They can't stand the idea of anyone else having influence on you. They can't stand the idea of you being smart. They can't. Their fantasy is that you're stupid and that they know everything and you don't. And that, let's say that they did get a bachelor degree. Well, if you're going for your master's, how dare you? How dare you? You can't do that. You can't be better than me. They see that as a better. They see that as a one-up, as opposed to, look, I just want to go get my master's so I can do whatever I need to do in my profession or whatever. Do you see where I'm going? But they don't see it as that. They see it as an absolute competition. Absolute competition. It is not about bettering yourself. To them, this is a personal affront. You're doing this on purpose. I'm not going to let you in. I'll make sure you don't. This also goes with jobs. Let's be clear. They will start sabotaging jobs. Well, I don't want you working outside the house. Why? Because you might meet somebody. Yeah, there's 7 billion, almost 8 billion people on the planet. I'm pretty much assured of meeting somebody. Yeah. But they don't want you, again, contrast and compare, to figure out that they're the problem. So they want to isolate. That is a sabotage. So what they do is they start getting rid of your job. They start picking it apart. I don't like it. You're gone too long. You don't keep the house clean enough, or you don't do the car enough, or their excuses are illogical. And so they'll come up with anything as to why you cannot keep that job. Even though you guys need the money, remember, narcissists are not real smart. They think they are. They're not. They will cut their own nose off to spite their face. Seriously. So if in their mind, because remember, you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally on the level of between an 18-month-old and a 24-month-old, not very old. In their mind, if they can keep you all to themselves, then it's worth it to not have that extra income coming in. Seriously, because they need to control, especially if they're a dark triad. So this is all part of the sabotage. And it sounds like, when we're in it, it sounds like, oh, I love you so much, or, oh, I need you so much, or, oh, the kids need you, or, oh, this needs you, and if we got the codependency going on, we're going to fall for that stuff. And then we give up our job, we give up our family because, oh, I don't like that influence. I don't like your Aunt Kathy. Oh, oh, no, I don't like her. You need to get rid of her. Oh, I don't like your friend, Susan. Nope, we're going to get rid of her. Oh, I don't like your friend, David. Nope, we're going to get rid of him. All in the name of they're crazy, they're a bad influence, they're this, they're that, they're a fraud, blah, 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 blah. And in reality, what it is they just want to make your world incredibly tiny and to control you so that you don't have any outside influence except them. That is terrifying. We are pack animals. We need other people. And here's the other thing they don't like. If the majority of the family and friends don't like this person, they know that if you're still around them, eventually you're going to be like, what's the common denominator? But if you're not around them, you're getting gaslit all the time, all the time. Doubt yourself, doubt yourself, doubt yourself, right? And they're filling it in with their, with their crap, right? And then we get that cognitive dissonance and we're confused and we can't see what's really happening until we can get away from it, which is why they're so insidious and they're so nasty. And I just freaking don't like them. So anyway, back to the article. Okay. All right. Okay. So they sabotage your degree. They sabotage your career. They will sabotage appointments. They will dawdle. They will supposedly have an emergency at work or be held up in traffic to make you late. I, personal experience, had a roommate when I was living in LA who picked the day I had an audition to suddenly have a medical crisis. And the medical crisis was, I'm blind, I can't see. Why are you blind? And shouldn't you be going to the ER? So I managed to get him to the ER. I still managed to go to the audition, but it threw me off. That was intentional. That roommate was 100% disordered and was interested in making sure I didn't get a great job. So yeah, interesting how that happens. So yeah, if you've got a really important audition, interview, or even a health appointment, I've seen them do that on health appointments or mental health appointments. They don't want you going. They don't want their favorite punching bag getting healthy, mentally, physically, ecumenically, or otherwise. So yeah, they will do that. If that happens, once is a fluke. Twice is a coincidence. 3 or more times is a pattern. Seriously, I don't believe in coincidence, but if you want to play life like a baseball game, that's what you do. Once is a fluke. Twice is a coincidence. That's a pattern. That's a pattern. If they're doing that consistently, every time you have an appointment, every time you have to go somewhere, every time you have, even if you have like a lunch date with your mom or a lunch date with your family member, and they suddenly have some medical issue or some reason why you can't go, and this happens over and over again, Houston, you got a problem. You see where I'm going with that? So, okay, so there is that. Hold on, there's more to this article. They will sabotage your finances. Seriously, I have seen them so many times. Like, and this is the crazy thing. So the target of abuse will have a legitimate medical issue, like dental work needing to be done. Well, all of a sudden, the abuser has dental work that needs to be done. Out of the blue, really? The exact same thing, right? So they'll go use up the insurance or the whatever it is on them, and you're stuck having to pay whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or you can't get in because they took the appointment. I've seen that happen multiple times. And they will financially sabotage. I talked about that. They'll make you stop your job. They'll spend the rent money. They'll, make it so you're just barely making a living. Why? Well, if you don't have money, unfortunately, in our screwed up society, it's really hard to get help. It's really hard to hire an attorney. It's really hard to hire a therapist. It's really hard to get somebody to help you to get housing. It's really hard. They don't want you to leave. Their ultimate goal is to keep you trapped. That's what they want. That's why they sabotage financially, even though it hurts them, even though money is their God. But to them, again, the ends justify the means. So that's what they're doing with that. Okay, let me go back over here. They will never keep you informed of the full financial picture, or they may have financial investments and interests that they won't disclose to you. A lot of narcissists have a back door. So they will hide money. They'll do all sorts of, things to try to protect their money and things like that. They'll have second accounts, third accounts. And then God forbid you go open your own account so that you have your own money. And again, if they have trackers on the phone or if they have keystroke loggers, they'll figure out where you're banking at and go and harass and intimidate you. because they don't want you to have your own money. Okay, because that means freedom. And God forbid you should be free. Okay, they treat you as if you are the irresponsible party in order to keep a tight control over the finances. So, what I see abusers do, and this is a huge red flag, oh, I'll take care of everything, but you need to tell me everything you're spending. No. How about no? How about hell no? How about go screw yourself? Hell no. So, no. No, no, with a side of no and an extra helping of no. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they do to keep the finances tight, because then if you go to them and say, I need medical stuff, no, we don't have enough money. I need my teeth done. No, we don't have enough money. I need to go see a therapist. No, we don't have enough money. See where I'm going with that? So it's a power and control thing. He who holds the coin purse holds the power, basically, as far as the narcissist is concerned. Now, that is not reality, but what happens is, I mean, it is reality, but it's not reality. Let me clarify. Basically, they get us in this weird lack and scarcity thinking. This is intentional. Let's be clear. This is another sabotage. So we start thinking that there's never enough. Okay, well, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. I don't. Chaos, 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 drama, drama, drama. That's what they want. Because if we were calm, we could go, okay, I can get free services here. I can find housing there. I can talk to a social worker here. I can do, you know what I'm saying? They don't want you calm. Calm is their enemy, because calm means you're thinking, and they don't want us to think. So there is that. Hold on. Okay. Treating you as irresponsible. So they're projecting, maintaining a tight grip on the finances. They will spend whatever they want without telling you. Like they'll come home with a brand new boat right after they say there's no rent money. Yeah. But they make you account for every penny, often making you feel guilty no matter how necessary or how small the amount you spend. So what I've seen them do, and this has happened with clients, is that they will damn them for going grocery shopping and buying food. I'm not kidding you. Well, you didn't ask my permission. The kids were hungry. They needed food. I don't care. You didn't ask my permission. Do you see the power thing going on there? And it makes my mind hurt. Anyway, that's what they do. Money may disappear from your checking, savings, or retirement account with no explanation. So they will. Listen to me, guys. I'm not kidding when I say this stuff. Listen to me now. Believe me now. Don't wait for later. Do it now. They will, if they have access to any of your passwords, pins, accounts, etc., they will go in and they will empty the account. They will. I have seen them steal people's heirloom jewelry that, the spouse had that was given to them, and go pawn it and not tell the spouse until months later, when the spouse is like, where's this brooch? Where is this? Where is that? They're in their crazy 24-month-old minds. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. I'm not kidding you. Stop thinking that they would never ... fill in the blank. Oh yeah, they would. If they can benefit from it, they would. Absolutely, 110%, or you wouldn't be watching this channel. So stop thinking that they wouldn't pawn the jewelry, sell something of sentimental value, raid your accounts, steal your money out of your checking account. Or if you don't have your own checking account, they'll drain the account that's the family account so that you have nothing, and they'll stash it somewhere else. Absolutely, they will do this. Stop thinking that they're normal. They're not normal. If y'all are watching this channel, get it through the head. They're not normal. They are not normal. Stop expecting them to act like a decent, normal human being. They are not. They don't get better. They get worse with age. Therapy does not help except very short little time periods, as long as somebody's eyes are on them. So there you go. All right. So back to this. Okay. Money will disappear. This may happen especially at times when a major repair is needed, a special event, holiday, or medical issue comes up. Finding receipts for large cash withdrawals and not telling you what it was spent on. Oh, yeah. They may even gaslight you by blaming you for the withdrawal and interrogating you as to where you spent it. Oh, yeah, they do that. Without your knowledge, oh God, this next one. Without your knowledge, they will open up new credit card accounts with your name and your social security and max it out. Sometimes, not sometimes, almost all the time, not paying the bill just to ruin your credit score. Why do they do that? They don't want you to get an apartment. They don't want you to get housing. They don't want you to leave. You got to understand everything they do is with an agenda, especially if they steal your social security number and open up a credit card in your name and go out and max it out and then don't pay it. That's 110% intentional. I have seen narcissistic parents do that to their children. And I have seen, the children were not even of age, don't even get me started. And I have seen them do that to spouses. And it's to keep you hobbled. If your credit is crap, you're not going to be able to get out. You're not going to be able to get sometimes a job because they do look at your credit score. You're not going to be able to get an apartment. That's intentional. They are intentional in their sabotage. You betcha. Hold on, I got more. Okay. Making big financial purchases without telling you, often after you both mutually agreed not to make the purchase. Then they may act shocked, sullen, or angry when you are not excited about whatever they purchased. Tax returns. Oh, this happens so often. May disappear, or bills may be hidden without your knowledge. Unpaid bills may even be sent to collection agencies, causing a derogatory mark on your credit report. Intentional. So when you divorce a narcissist, I can guarantee you the first thing they're going to do is try to screw you out of the tax money. So you've got to make sure that you talk to your attorney about who gets to claim the kids what year. And if you're smart, you're going to file first. Because what I've seen them do is even though it's not their year, even though they're not supposed to claim the kids, they try. So let them get audited by the IRS, not you. So file first. File as quickly as you can early in the year, get it out, get it done. So that way, when they finally go to file and they're going against the court order or doing whatever, they're going to be the ones having the problem. So that's my advice with that. Okay, they sabotage your self-confidence. They will, because it makes you easier to control. They don't want you to believe in yourself. They don't want you to trust yourself. Gaslighting you and chronically lying while never admitting to it. Even when there's evidence, that's just the crazy part. Placing seeds of anxiety and doubt in your mind, especially in areas that they know is a weak spot for you. Like a master puppeteer, they often love to toy with your emotions and create unnecessary stress and drama for you to break down. They belittle your abilities and gaslight you, often through seemingly caring and undermining ways. They usually say something insulting or untrue, wrapped in a false concern or care for you. This may sound like, I care for you so much. Are you sure you can handle going back to school, getting another job? Do you see where I'm going? They may also say things like, we already discussed this, or I know how forgetful you are. No. Okay, now here's the big one. They will sabotage your relationship with your kids. They will use your children as pawns. They will start sowing the seeds of hatred and doubt towards the opposite parent the second that kid is conceived. Seriously. So they cause the kid to doubt your character, integrity, and your sanity. They'll constantly reinforce that. Oh, mommy's crazy. Daddy's crazy. Daddy's mean. Daddy's, they say things that are not true. They may say things to your children like, you don't know the things mommy has done or said to me. Okay. Or daddy has done or said to me. They may tell your children about real events that happened while omitting important facts that would explain your anger towards the abuser, further painting you in an irrational light, and making them the nice guy. They may use money, fun trips, or other items as manipulative tools or bribes to control your children's time and attention, monopolizing their time to keep them estranged from you. That often happens after the divorce. Sabotaging your relationship with others, we kind of talked about that, making sure you can't spend time with friends, having an argument with you before you go to hang out with one of your friends, making you late, undermining your trust in your friends, calling you with an emergency while you're out. Or what I've seen them also do is they will call and call and call and call and text and text, text and text, 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 text. Why aren't you texting me back when you're out with your friends? This is intentional. They're wanting all of your attention. And in their head, they're thinking what they would do if they were out with their friends. Projecting. So in their head, you're having an affair because that's what they would do. Okay. So they text and text and text. And why aren't you texting me back? Why didn't you took 15 minutes to text me back. I know you're doing something. That's how they start stuff. And that's how they discourage you from going out because it's miserable. Why would you go out if all you're going to do is have to deal with this jackwagon texting you, accusing you of stuff that you're not doing? So if they're accusing you of stuff that you're not doing and you're a trustworthy person and you know you're a trustworthy person, you might want to start thinking, what are they doing? See where I'm going with that? Yeah. Okay. Sabotaging your relationship with trusted leaders. So they try to separate you from your religious, spiritual stuff. They try to pretend that they know more than they do. Pretending to receive a warning dream or a vision from God. Okay, listen to me now, believe me now. I have seen narcissists do this so often. They will have visions from God. Actually, I think it's probably the other place. That's just my opinion. But they will have visions from God that will tell them things like, God told me not to use birth control with you. So we're just gonna, let God decide how many kids we want to have. Even though the other person maybe doesn't want kids, or even though maybe the other person only wants one or two, they'll put the religious spin on it. So this is where we're bringing in the communal narcissist, the cult leader thing. They will hide behind God's robes, Jesus's robes, in order to get their own way. And one of the great ways to hook somebody as a narcissist, male or female, is to make sure there's kids. Why? Because you're now connected to them for the next 18 years and longer. Because even though they, the kids grow up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they're still going to be around. They're still going to be being involved in those kids' lives, even though maybe the kids have gone no contact with them. They're still going to be like that irritating little gnat around your ear until they die, basically, or until everybody goes no contact, or you get a restraining order against them. That's basically the way it usually goes. Excuse me. Okay. All right. They paint themselves as the trusted authority in your life. Sabotaging special moments, holiday celebrations. We talked about that. Disappearing or not showing up, getting drunk, acting sullen, or causing a scene. They sabotage your relationship with your spirituality. They lie about having visions or dreams from God. They sabotage your dreams and goals. Things that you want for your future. Often what they do is they will take them over. They will, say, for example, you enjoy being creative. Well, suddenly they're now the painter. So it's important for them to go do all of their painting, but we don't have the money for you to do that. See where I'm going with that? They'll take over things that you are enjoying, things that are hobbies, things that are important to you. They'll take over, and they'll say that we don't have enough money for you to do it. This is important to me. I need to do that. Oh yeah, they're a-holes. Okay, sabotaging through triangulation. They use sabotaging through flying monkeys. They get the triangulation of communication going. So-and-so said such and such about such and such, and they're the only one that you can go through. So if that ever happens, if they ever come to you and say, well, so-and-so said such and such, great, let's get them on the phone, shall we? Yeah, let's just do that. Watch them backpedal. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so, all right. That is it for that article. Okay. All right. They destructively condition us to self-sabotage. That's what I'm leading up to with all of this, is that all of this sabotage, it becomes internalized when we start doing it to ourselves. In some cases, we become our own abuser. So they insult our intelligence, accomplishments, and personhood to the point that we no longer know who we are, and we have believed them for so long I'm not kidding you. I get people that come into my office that cannot tell me what their favorite food is because they don't know anymore. Because the abuser has literally told them what to think, when to think, how to think, this is what you like, this is what you don't like, and don't you dare disagree with me. Why? Well, it's power and control, number one. Number two, you're like obedient. They want you to be completely non-thinking. You like what they like. Why? Because a narcissist cannot stand differing opinions ever. They cannot have a conversation and have differing opinions. If a differing opinion comes up, they usually resort to name calling, or they get angry and storm out of the room when they realize that they can't manipulate you, or they call you crazy, or they do whatever. They can't handle, healthy people can have debates. Do you remember debating in school? Did you guys do debating in school? I always loved debating in school. It was a lot of fun. So you debate, here's this and here's that and here's this and here's that. And what do you think? And this is what I think and this is what you think. And I may not agree, but here we go. And oh, that's interesting. And, there's no name calling. There's no stupidity. With an abuser, there is, you better think the way I think. You better believe the way I believe. You bet. Seriously. I just threw in a Who song. Woo! Jump back. Anyway, so that's what that is like, you cannot have a differing opinion. And that's not normal. That's not normal. That's black and white thinking. That's all, nothing, good, bad, black, white. That's not normal. So we start sabotaging ourselves because we stop believing in ourselves and we stop listening to our gut. And they gaslight us so that we don't trust that inner voice. Okay. So this one is from Psych Central. 3 ways malignant narcissists destructively condition you to self-sabotage, because that's what comes out of sabotage. Now, this last one, 13 ways narcissistic parents sabotage their children. Then I swear to God, I will get to the questions. Okay. Okay. They reward compliance and they punish dissent. And they don't just do that with kids. They do that with spouses as well. They devalue their strengths and their interests, make fun of them, ignore them, etc., or overcorrect them. They pathologize their emotional responses. Oh my God, you're too sensitive. No such thing. You're a crybaby. No, every mammal tears up when it feels pain, emotional or otherwise. So they pathologize normal responses. Don't you be mad at me. I'll give you something to be mad about. Don't you cry. I'll give you something to cry about. I mean, they're monsters. They are monsters. Children, human beings, not just children, everyone has emotions, except if you're a narcissist or a psychopath, in which case you don't. Or you do, but they're not normal. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to be happy. Emotions are neither bad nor good. It's what we do with them. It's how we use them. Okay. Narcissists always use them to manipulate and to hurt and harm. But if a kid is angry or hurt or having big emotions, they're angry or they're hurt or they're having big emotions. There's no judgment in that. But dear God, narcissists like to come in and judge and judge and judge and judge. You're wrong. You're bad. You're too emotional. I'll give you something to cry about. Wrong. No. So that's incredibly damaging to children. So if you have a narcissist in your life doing that to your kids, you need to talk to your kids and get them into therapy. Seriously. They normalizes raging and shame. Absolutely, because that's all they know. That's all they know. They play favorites and scapegoats. They alienate the relationships. They make sure the siblings are not talking. They make sure that the parents and the kids are not talking. They do all sorts of stuff. They gaslight from their sense of reality, which is always warped and twisted. They adultify the kids. They turn the kids into the parents, or they infantilize them. You can't do anything. I have to do everything for you. No, let the kid figure it out. They bail them out of consequences. Or they abandon them in their time of need. It's always like this one side of the coin or the other. It's the same damn coin. It's just the flip side. They don't teach them life skills. They don't teach them how to pay bills or manage money or get a job or, do insurance or, they don't teach them any of this stuff. They expect them to magically figure it out on their own, or they manipulate them financially. So the kid will get a job and then suddenly the next thing you know, the parents have their hand out. Okay, next one is Psych Central, also bullied by narcissists at work, 3 ways narcissistic coworkers and bosses sabotage you. They get to know you and then use that information against you. So I have said this before, I will say it again. You must be incredibly careful what you share. As targets of abuse, if we have been raised by narcissists, we have this really bad habit of just oversharing. And you don't want to do that until you know who you're talking to and what their agenda is. So remember, narcissists mine for data. They are looking for information. They will say very little about themselves and they will want you to tell them everything. So if you feel like you're the only one talking, you need to stop. You do. And you need to decide ahead of time what you're going to say and how much you're going to give away. What do you want to talk about? What don't you want to talk about? So, like, for example, I mean, obviously, I've written a book about this, What's Wrong with Your Dad, available on Amazon. Thanks. But, I don't normally walk up to strangers and be like, hey, let me tell you about my dysfunctional family. I'm not going to do that because it's like, I don't know who they are. I don't know what they want. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Until I know what's going on. And then, then I can start sharing a little bit more details. So, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to just blah, because if you're in the presence of a narcissistic coworker or a narcissistic boss, they're mining for information and they are, sun comes up in the east, going to use it against you. Absolutely. So really the best thing to do is to not overshare. They feed their superiors and other coworkers false, misleading information about you, your work ethic, or your competence in any projects you might be in charge of. So document. You just want to document. If you feel it is a hostile work environment, again, HR is there to protect the company. They are not there to protect the workers. However, they don't want to be involved in a hostile work environment lawsuit. So if you are being maligned and you can prove it, you got to document. You got to get as much evidence together as possible to protect yourself. You go to HR and you say, this is a hostile work environment. This is what I'm hearing. This is this person. This needs to stop. And if it does not stop, I will be taking this to the EEOC. EEOC.gov. That's where you file hostile work environment complaints. So yeah, that's kind of what you do with that. The next one is they'll steal your ideas and pass them off as your own. Again, document. Get witnesses, etc., that kind of thing. And again, you go to HR and you're like, this is a hostile work environment. I'm not going to put up with this. And then your next step is to file with the EEOC.gov. So there that is. Okay, I think that's it. All right, let us go to the questions, shall we? Okay, boop. All right. If narcs hide what they really are from others, do they know that there is something wrong with them? Yes, I think they do. Listen, they are, how do I explain this? Again, you're dealing with somebody who is operating on the level of between 18 months old and 2 years old, 24 months old. So do they know something's wrong with them? I think on some level they do. Absolutely. I also think, though, that it is a typical predatory thing to hide their real nature. How many predators in nature pretend to be something else, but then are deadly? So like there's that fish that has that little light that comes off of it to attract other fish, and then they eat the fish. So is there a part of them that I think there is, maybe somewhere deep buried down inside? But other than that, no, they're predators. They're predators, and predators will pretend to be not predatory, but then pounce. So yeah, that's my opinion of that. Would they feel real shame? Okay, here we go. I have heard some therapists go, oh, they're the, what are they called? The fragile narcissists. They're just so filled with shame. Not the ones I've seen. The ones I've seen have been malignant, evil to the core. Has nothing to do with shame. Has to do with wanting to be right. Has to do with needing to be a winner. at all costs, and they will sacrifice their own children. They'll eat their own children if they thought it would get them where they needed to go. They would sell their grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So they're nature, nurture, there's so much involved. They're predators. They're just predators. They have no shame. They don't. Because listen, okay, difference between shame and guilt. I'm going to give this again. Guilt is when we've gone, oh my gosh, that behavior I just did was horrible. I am so embarrassed. I hurt you. I'm feeling guilt for having hurt you because that behavior was bad. Let me make amends. Let me make sure that never happens again. Okay, that's guilt. Shame is I am a horrible person. I don't think any of those guys and gals ever wake up and have a come to Jesus meeting going, geez, I'm a horrible person. No, their little ego, their id couldn't handle it. It couldn't. I don't think they have shame. Shame is an indictment of who you are as a human being. Guilt is I've done wrong, a behavior. A behavior has been wrong and I need to correct it. And I feel guilty for it. I don't like having hurt you. That's icky. Okay. Shame is I'm a horrible person. I am a terrible human being. I don't think they feel that. I am 100% certain that they don't wake up in the morning and go, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa, and then go make amends. I've never seen it. And if they do the mea culpa, it's usually for an audience. So when I've seen them, whoa, my hair just went wild. When I've seen them make amends, it's because somebody's watching or they have to legally, or, the PR would be good if they made an amend right now. It's the best amends are the ones that are done quietly. And then the behavior never happens again. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It just has to be real. And I don't think they can be real if their life depended on it. So there that is. Okay. Next question. Why don't they like joy? Because they can't feel it. When I say narcissists do not feel the way we do, I am not just whistling a tune here, people. They cannot feel emotions the way we do. If they could, first of all, they wouldn't be narcissists. And second of all, they wouldn't be making other people wrong for having genuine emotions. So they don't feel joy. Nope. They don't feel joy. And they get angry when other people do because they can't feel it. And it's not about them. So if somebody's being joyful about something and it has nothing to do with them, how dare you? How dare you have joy? How dare you have joy without me? That's literally how they think. I'm not kidding you. Hang on a second. Okay. Hold, please, while I find that question again. Okay. Why do they only love drama? Okay. So narcissists need drama and chaos the way the rest of us need oxygen to live. So drama and chaos keeps them focused outwards. Boop, outwards. It's out here. Drama, chaos out here. So it may start in here, but it goes out here and it involves other people. So what that does is that keeps them not focused on themselves. They don't have to think. They don't have to really look at what they're doing. They keep going, oh, it's everybody else. It's not my fault. It's your fault. And it's your fault. And it's that person's fault. And it's that dog over there and the lamppost and this and that and the other thing. It's not here. It's over there. That's constantly. They cannot take responsibility for a damn thing. Nothing. Even when they get caught red-handed. Like seriously. Like I've had cases where the narcissist got caught in an affair red-handed. Like the person walked in on them and then the narcissist flipped it. Well, you made me. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So it's not my fault. You made me. Okay, it was an accident. That's the other thing I've heard them say. It was an accident. I didn't mean to have an affair. Oh, so you just tripped and you happened to fall into that person's vagina. Okay, sure. Why not? Yeah. See where I'm going with it? Yeah, they never take responsibility for anything ever. Even if they get caught red-handed, especially if they get caught red-handed. So, and they don't feel joy. They love the drama because it focuses them outside. They can't be happy for other people. Why can't they be happy for other people? Because they're not happy, honey. They don't understand happy. And here's the thing that narcissists really don't get. If it doesn't have to do with them, they don't understand why somebody would be happy for somebody else. They literally don't. You know, if somebody sacrifices themselves for another person, well, why did you do that? You ended up dying. How that's the stupidest thing ever. Well, because they saved somebody else. You know, narcissists don't get that. They would never sacrifice themselves to save somebody else. Ever. They don't understand being happy for somebody else because it's not about them. Whereas the rest of us who are hopefully healthy can be like, oh my God, you got a job. That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you. That yay, you, go you, you're awesome. You know, and we're giving that love to that person and that acknowledgement and that I see you and good job. They can't do that. They're so they literally cannot see beyond the end of their own nose. And if it doesn't have to do with them, it makes them angry. It does. Like literally, it makes them angry. If somebody else is happy, makes them angry. If somebody else is happy for somebody else, makes them angry because they can't feel it. They don't understand it. So it's kind of like that. If a narcissist doesn't understand something, they get angry at it because that's pretty much the easiest emotion for them to access. And they try to stop it because it makes them uncomfortable. So real emotions, real genuine happiness makes them uncomfortable. Real genuine sadness makes them uncomfortable. Real genuine anger makes them uncomfortable, believe it or not. So yeah, they don't like anything real. They don't like anything genuine because they can't feel it. And it makes them so angry because they can't control it. Mic drop. Boom. You see where I'm going with that. So why would someone, where did that come from? Stop that, computer. Why would someone make up stuff when there's no need? So narcissists love drama. Love it. They need to be the center of attention. They need to be uh, the top of that operator chain, you know, the trial communication thing. They make stuff up because it makes them feel important. And so if they don't have anything that makes them important, that's one of the traits of narcissism is that they will exaggerate achievements. They will exaggerate military service. Oh my God, I can't tell you the number of times that I've had clients that thought that they were married to a war hero only to find out, no, the person never was in the army or the Marines or the Navy or whatever, you know? So, I mean, yeah, they make stuff up in order to bolster up that ego. It's all about me, I, more my genitals. Seriously, that's all they care about. So they will lie. If their lips are moving, they're lying, basically to make themselves bigger than they really are. So there that is. Okay, is there anything else? Did I get all of them? Yes, I did. Okay, you guys. So I want to talk about next week. I want to talk about OCD, ADHD, and narcissistic abuse and anxiety because they're all kind of combined. Because I see a lot of clients that have got the narcissistic abuse happening to them that have ADHD and OCD and anxiety through the roof. Because you're going to have anxiety when you're dealing with an abuser, especially when you're going through the divorce. So I want to talk about all of that and normalize that for you because you are not crazy. That really is happening. So there that is. All right, you guys, have a great day. Next week, we're going to be talking about ADHD, OCD, and narcissistic abuse and anxiety. I'll figure out how to do the title. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. Don't forget, I will be in Richmond on the 22nd of June. Go to chrisgodinas.com to appearances if you wish to purchase tickets. And what will happen in that meet and greet thing is you get me for 2 hours. So you can ask me whatever psychological questions you need, and I am happy to answer them. So that's what we do. We talk. It's awesome. So, and have coffee usually. So, all right. Okay, guys, I will talk to you next week. Be good to yourselves. Drink plenty of water. It is getting freaking hot. There's a heat advisory here in Phoenix. So stay cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.